Can you edit video on the cheapest M1 MacBook Air? In this video, we're gonna find out. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name's Chris. I'm a videographer, photographer, and YouTuber. And in today's video, we're gonna be putting the cheapest M1 MacBook Air up against my PC, which is no slouch. If you're like me, you've probably been keeping a close eye on the M1 chip, and you're wondering, does it actually live up to the hype? Can you edit a proper video project on it? I've been thinking of swapping my £2,000 PC for a £600 Mac Mini for some time now, and when me and my business partner started looking for a new laptop for her, it only made sense to test the water. So we found this MacBook Air 13-inch M1 for £600 on eBay, and it does have some cosmetic issues, but on the whole, it's actually in very good condition. So I really want to put this laptop through its paces. I'm going to start with HD footage, just a single track, and see how well it plays back. Can I scrub through the timeline quickly? Will it play back at full resolution, or will it need rendering? Then I'm going to create a multicam sequence, again with HD footage, and see whether I can click and change the camera angle live whilst it's playing back. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing with 4K footage. Then I'm going to move on to lumetri color and see whether I can make color adjustments to clips and whether they need rendering or whether it will just play back on its own. And finally, my friend Adam over at Musing of a Man has asked me if I can import a MOGA and see whether that performs nicely. All of the footage I'm going to be using in this video has either been shot on a Sony a6500 or the Sony a7R II. They're all XAVCS files, which I imagine a lot of you are using. Okay, so let's make a start with this single track of HD footage. This is a wedding we shot fairly recently. I'm just going to drag that clip in. And to be honest, I'm expecting this to work seamlessly. So I'm just going to scrub through the timeline. And yes, if I stop and play it, yeah, we're going to have absolutely no dropouts whatsoever. Just going to make this timeline a little bit bigger. I can jump through, I can press play wherever I want. This is a massive improvement over what we've been using recently, which is a 2013 MacBook Pro, which has done us really well, but it's getting a bit long in the tooth, and this is going to be replacing it for Anya, my business partner. So yes, you can do that. Let's do a few cuts. Yeah, cuts no problem. We're playing it back in full resolution. And yeah, and that plays back absolutely no problem at all, scrubs through beautifully. If you're somebody who's making vlogs and you just want a portable machine, you're only ever going to be working with 1 or 2 tracks of video, I don't think you'll have any issues at all. Let's just make a couple of duplicates. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to struggle with HD footage. Now these 3 clips are all from the ceremony of the wedding, and what I want to do is highlight all of them, right click, and we're going to create a multi-camera sequence using the audio to synchronize everything up. And then we're just going to drag that multicam onto our timeline, and we're just going to enable multicam view. So you can see we've got 3 tracks. I'm just going to try scrubbing through this timeline. Again, I'm expecting this to handle it like a champ. It's not gonna struggle, I don't think. Playing back at full resolution. There is a little bit of lag there. Let's try playing it. And I'm just gonna try cutting between cameras live. I mean, there's no issue with that at all. It's maybe a little bit laggy to cut the camera. I think if we change that to half resolution and we try again, I don't think we're going to have any issues. Takes about half a second to start playing when I do press play. I mean, yeah, now we've changed it to half resolution. We can cut pretty much as we want. We have got a little bit of lag creeping in. Stop it and start it again. And we're back to normal. You could definitely edit a HD multicam sequence using this MacBook in half resolution. What I'd like to do now is double up these tracks. So I now have 6 tracks of video, and I'm going to select them all, right click, create multi-camera sequence, using the audio to sync them up, and press OK. That does seem exceptionally quick to synchronize them. I think that's a lot quicker than on my PC, but I'll put the PC doing that exact same task on screen now. So now I'm going to drag that clip onto my timeline. We're going to enable multicam. And we've now got 6 feeds of video playing at the same time. Let's see how well it works. It still seems to be playing okay. 6 feeds of HD footage. And it starts and stops okay. There is a little bit of lag again when I press play. Yeah, there's a little bit of lag creeping in here and there. I'm going to drop it down to a 1/4 resolution. This doesn't fill me full of confidence for the 4K test, I'm not going to lie. It's not doing too badly at all, and I think this is definitely usable for how we capture wedding ceremonies. But if you were shooting 4K, would you want to do this? You're probably not going to be shooting 6 angles of 4K, but you might do 4. It's definitely usable, and it's definitely better than what we're using currently. Let's try some 4K footage. So this footage is from a recent shoot I did with Cardinal Black. It's all shot in 4K. We shot it in a nice guitar shop in Bath. It was naturally lit, so some scenes are slightly overexposed, some are slightly underexposed, but let's give it a test. Could I edit this footage? I mean, it plays back well. We are in a 1/4 resolution. Let's change that to full resolution. Let's just play it. Plays back no problem. I can scrub through, absolutely no problem whatsoever. So I've just duplicated that track and made it smaller and put it down into the corner just to see how well it does at playing 2 4K tracks at the same time. Disappointing. Okay, so it took about 3 or 4 seconds to actually stop playing once I pressed the spacebar. So even 2 tracks of 4K video, it's gonna struggle with. Let's change the resolution down to, let's do a half and see what that's like, and then we'll do a 1/4 if we need to. Okay, that's not playing too badly at all. Let's do that again. We'll add another track and we'll move this one over to the left. So we're now technically playing 3 4K tracks at the same time in half resolution. It's got no problem doing that. Yep, I can still scrub through. Press play. Little delay, nothing major. Okay, we're going to do it again. We're going to keep going until this packs up. So we're going to move this one up onto the right hand side. So we've now got 4 tracks of 4K footage playing at the same time. That's quite impressive. I don't think my PC would do this. Let's do one more. So we'll move this one over to the left hand side. So now we're technically reading 5 pieces of 4K footage at the same time. There's literally no lag, no stutter. That is cool. So if you're doing basic projects in Premiere in 4K using something like the Sony a6500 or the Sony a7R II, you're going to have no problems whatsoever. Let's turn this into a multicam clip. So we're going to do the same as we did before. We're just going to use 3 tracks plus the audio that's been provided. We're going to right click on them and create new multi-camera sequence, and we're going to use the audio to synchronize. Drag that into the timeline. We're going to turn on multicam and we're going to just hit play. Last time when we just hit play, it just played. It was fine. We're going to put it back to full resolution and press play.
Why is it pride should carry us through? Tell me, girl, and I feel this seed.
So there's a little bit of lag when I press play, a little bit of lag when I press stop. Let's see if I can cut any angles. Yeah, so we're starting to seriously drop frames as soon as I start to cut the angles. Let's change this to half resolution and see whether that fixes our problem. Not really. Yeah, see, that's getting to the point where it's going to be really hard work to edit. Let's change it to a quarter resolution.
Tell me how it feels, baby.
I wouldn't say that's any better. Change it to an 1/8 resolution.
Tell me how
Aha!
I'm supposed to
So everything's playing as it should do in an 1/8 resolution. See if we can cut it.
feels, baby. Oh, because I don't know, yeah.
That feels absolutely fine to me now. So you can just about play 3 4K video tracks in an 1/8 resolution. Slightly disappointing. I was expecting a little bit more. So what I want to test now is if I create some proxies, will I be able to play it in full resolution? So we're going to create proxies, and we might as well leave this on screen so you can see how long it's going to take to create. Okay, so that's finally finished rendering. It took longer than I was expecting, I'm not gonna lie. But now, if we turn on our proxy files and change back to full resolution, let's see how well it plays. Not bad.
We need the freedom to find the time and to devise a better
I mean, that plays beautifully now.
system for ourselves. Just to get on
That's really quick.
stop this bleeding.
So if you have the time to create proxy files, oh, wow. I'm stunned at how good that is. Right, let's try 6 tracks. Gonna drag it in, not gonna render anything, just gonna press play.
Stop pushing that. Oh, tell me
Wow.
how it feels, baby.
Okay. Okay, pretty cool. Let's do 9. Okay, so we've now got 9 previews, which is as many as you can actually have within Premiere. on one page. Let's see if this plays. Not in full resolution. Let's try it in, let's jump straight to a quarter. All of Premiere seems to be slowing down now. It played beautifully with 6 tracks. It's gonna struggle with 9. To be honest, that really impresses me. The fact that it can do 6 4K tracks with an audio track in full resolution. Wow. That is impressive. Right, let's move on to Lumetri Color. Now, I haven't got any Luts installed on here of my own, so I'm just going to use a couple of the inbuilt ones. I'm just going to make it hard work. It's not going to look good on screen, but it will be hard for Premiere to do this. So we're just going to add the Alexa LUT, the default LUT. I'm going to change the temperature. I'm basically going to move every slider to its extreme, maybe not the exposure one, just so you can see how much of a mess this is going to make it look. Very good. Let's take the saturation down and it removes all of that. Creative, we're just going to chuck on one of these. We're going to add faded film. We're going to unsharpen it. We're going to add vibrance. We're going to take the saturation down. We're going to add a shadow tint, highlight tint. So let's just see whether this plays back. No problem whatsoever. I can scrub through it. I can carry on playing. We're still in full resolution. If I did all of that on my PC, I think it would grind to a halt. And now finally, we're going to try and insert a Moga that Adam from Musing of a Man has sent me. It's a Christmas themed Moga. And the reason we're going to do this is because he said if he was going to buy a MacBook Air M1, this would probably be the most intensive thing that he would try and use it for. So let's drag it in and see what happens. Honestly, I think it's going to grind to a halt. So originally it said that the media was not there. It's now finally found it. We're trying to scrub through. Let's make this timeline a little bit bigger. Trying to scrub through. And we can't scrub through either of the ones he sent me. And we keep getting this spinning beach ball of death. So what I'm going to do is just render one of these little clips. And we might be here for some time. Okay, so that's finished rendering. God, this is a pretty looking video. I wonder if Adam made this. He probably did. He's super talented. Yeah, I mean, that plays no problem whatsoever. It did have a bit of a hissy fit when I imported it. It did take some time to even allow me to start rendering it. But now it's rendered, it plays really, really well. So there we go, I've tested everything that was important to me. If there's something that was important to you that I've missed, please put it in the comment section below and give me a couple of days and I will get back to you with an answer. Overall, I was expecting this Mac to blow my mind and think, God, why have I spent so much money on a PC when this Mac can do it so much better? And the honest answer is, I don't think it can. I think it's very good for the size. I think it's very capable for the size. But for the time being, at least, I'm going to stick with my PC. Don't get me wrong, £600 for a computer that is that powerful, that's a bargain. It really is. But if you're thinking of switching from a powerful PC to an M1 Mac, I would hold off for the time being. Something that has really impressed me is the battery life. I've been running this machine for about 3 hours straight, putting it through some really labor-intensive processes, and it's still on 41% battery, but it is getting a little bit warm on the bottom. It's not boiling hot, but it is warm. If you'd like to see a similar type of video but with the M1 iPad, please let me know because I might be getting one of those in the near future. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another episode, and I'll see you again really soon.